Hey,
Hello? Hello?
hello?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm really confused by this shit. Um, Screen.
Can you show me your studio, please?
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Jesus Christ.
Freaking out. No, your studio, your YouTube studio.
Oh, go to YouTube.
That's where you have to add the moderator.
Yeah, and it's already in there. It's
Okay.
go to Studio, go to Settings, and then we'll go into
Community.
Permissions.
Community.
Community. Yeah, it's like I've got it here in the approved users.
No, moderator. Okay, and you have it in the moderators too?
Yeah, it's in here. Hold on, I gotta slowly scroll because I'll miss it every single time.
You got way a lot of them.
Well, people want to be able to promote their shows. And what, sweetheart? What is that?
This is a shower. But are you driving this, or is Mom going to get Draco?
When?
Oh, pretty soon.
I'm in the middle of something right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, hon. I mean, if I'm able to do it, if we can figure this out really quickly, I'll go with you guys and drive.
That is not Stream Elements.
Hold on, it's in here.
No, go down. It's right there. That weird dude. Go up a bit. I just saw it. It says Stream Elements. That's some guy's head. You have the wrong Stream Elements in there. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Down a little more. A little more. There. Stop. Reiner Jace. What is that?
That's not it?
No.
All right.
Look at the moderator. Look. Go back to your. If you look at your studio.
Let me get the link from you. Where'd you put it?
It's right there. That's the YouTube channel. Yep. Click on that. Click on that. Yep. Copy. Now, before you add it, I want you to look quickly. Okay. Look. Stop a second.
Okay.
You see where it says approved users?
Yeah, I've got it in there.
But look at that symbol compared to the other one. You had the wrong symbol in there. That's why it didn't work. Now select at the bottom right there. Yep. Now press save. Should be there now. Activate next time you use it.
Well, I'm live right now. Shouldn't it pick us up right now?
I can't see it.
Oh, let me remove the logo.
No, it'd be in your chat. It would be in your chat.
We go to my channel.
Because I can't see it in your chat. Where's the live stream? All right, there we go. All right, now what I want you to do is go back to your Stream Elements page.
All right.
All right, you're going to hit part channel.
Hey, Parrot Head, I see you in the chat. I'm sorry. Steven's helping me with this shit.
Part channel on the right-hand side.
Part channel, yeah, because that's normally where if I do that, it'll disconnect me.
Do it.
Oh, and look, it's showing that I'm live.
Yes, but do it. Trust me.
Part.
Now rejoin channel. Neat. Click on neat. Yep. Should click it again. Neat. Yep. You're fine. Now you give it and then you should hopefully it'll give you a second to pop in. Do you have timers set up?
Yes, I do. And take a look at my timers. Let me go in here. Where's it at? Timers. I got subscribe set at every 15 minutes or 20 lines. 20 posts.
Okay.
When offline, I put it. Everything's at 1 minute. I'm like, what is that even for?
I don't know.
Become a patron is at 30 minutes. All of them are set at 20 lines, and all of them are 15 except for tip the bartenders 20 minutes, and Patreon is 30 minutes. Do I have that? I mean,
give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on.
I did your voice on the show tonight.
What?
Yeah. Like, give me money. Give me money. Give me money.
Why?
Because I like the way you say that. I always found it funny when you said that.
Now, don't ban me.
Of course I'm not going to ban you.
There you go. Look at the bottom. I had to make 20 lines go in.
So it needs 20 lines for it to kick
No,
off.
that was me trying to engage it. It was probably waiting for 20 lines. Now look what it said. No, go down. Look what it said. Stream it. You now have Stream Elements running in your shit. It's working now.
Okay.
You had the wrong model.
I had the wrong link. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And I got that from their site.
The YouTube channel, not their site.
No, I got it from the site when it told me how to set it up.
Tell Brett that's my $2 now. And why do I suck balls, Brett? He just tipped you $2. All right, that's my last tech support call. People are going to pay you to insult me.
Well, that was just it, because I knew that you would get me over the hump on this. That's good. Thank you very much, because everything else I had lined up, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. I knew if you looked at it, you'd figure it out, and you did.
The 2-minute video literally walks you through everything perfectly. You didn't use it, did you?
Yes, I did. I watched your video, and I took the link from their website. That's the link that was given to me by them.
I'm talking about their YouTube, but I went to their YouTube in the video.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. They gave me the wrong address.
Yeah, I made that video. And Brett, can Brett hear me right now?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Is this a Russian ploy?
I love you too, Brett. Jesus.
Yeah, I almost made this private, but I'm like, fuck it. It'll be funny if some of my friends pop in.
And I am still live on Twitch, so
yeah, get back to your show, man. I appreciate you helping
anytime.
me in this.
No problem. No problem.
Don't forget
It's a
about
simple mistake.
tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Sarah Frazetta.
Who?
Sarah fucking Frazetta.
Who? I literally do not know who that is.
Do you know who Frank Frazetta is? One of the greatest fantasy sci-fi artists of all time.
Okay. Do you know what Saturday is at 6 p.m. Eastern?
Are you doing something Saturday?
Oh, no one's noticed I had my 4K celebration. All right, I'll delete that stream. No
I
one's
haven't
even-
gotten any where is it?
on my webpage. It also was my actual homepage on YouTube. YouTube. That's Twitter.
Oh, you didn't post it on Twitter.
Not yet. No, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, then I'll know about it. I don't really look at all my updates.
So you're not subscribed to my channel. I got it.
Yes, I am. I just don't look at them because I get so many. I'll look up here and it'll go like 9+, which means I have 1,000 in there. Let's
I'm
look.
trying to get past 4,500 is bugging the crap out of me. So you're not getting any notifications from me?
You should be in here because I follow you. I'm not seeing you. Fucking Yeti.
Nah. Oh, he's playing Destiny now.
Oh, look at that. All right, cool.
Gee, I wonder who's playing Destiny already too.
Flaccid Phoenix.
Hmm.
I am not seeing you.
Keep going. 5 hours. It would be about 8 hours ago.
Drinker, Force of Light,
About
Clobbering Time.
Yeah, about 8 hours ago.
Okay, 8 hours. So let's scroll even further. Yeah, see, it's so far down. I don't go to YouTube.
I hope he enjoys it. No, I really hope he enjoys Destiny because it's not a cheap game. I'm before Cultures. Keep going.
No, wait, 8 hours. I'm up to 10 hours.
Because it's also been 8 hours is when I had my stream. Just trust me.
okay.
You can actually prove whether or not.
There you are.
Yeah, 10 hours ago.
Live.
That was an 8-hour stream. Yeah.
So, but where's your 4K one for Saturday?
It's on my. Okay, click on my channel.
Oh, so just go to your page. Okay.
Click that link,
And I'll go to your page.
and you go to my page.
That dude looks serious.
And go to the community. You can. It should be there. Oh wait, it's not. Is it not there yet? Oh wait, maybe I put it as a trailer. Where's my live shit? Down. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, buddy.
I'll keep going down. Maybe it's at the bottom. Maybe that's when I can't see it. No. Okay, I gotta figure that out. There's no live there. Thank you. Hold on. You might be
All
my
right.
test dummy right here, and I'll just do it right now. Add section. Live now. Pop uploads. Upcoming live streams. Why did that get removed?
You got me.
Pardon me.
Right, so let
Live
me go back
now.
here.
Upcoming live streams. Hold on.
So right now it's just Steven and I. And while you're here, I'm going to talk about it. We did talk about it on the show. I am looking so forward to you and I doing our shit talking show, where we just get on and do this. Or we just go around and start shitting.
You
on our
might
friends.
just have to jump on my channel when I'm doing coverage of shit because everything just seems to be flowing.
What I'll
We
do
just
is I'll set up OBS and I'll broadcast live from your show.
Stream snipe.
Yep, stream snap.
No.
There we go.
All right, see if it's fixed up.
Well, Pat, just to let you know, Keith just walked me. Steven just walked me through fixing a problem because if you notice, Pat, there was no chat bot, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working because it said it was working while we were streaming on the last show.
Check my webpage now and see if it's there.
All right. Let me go.
Why'd you close it?
Because I'm on something else over there. But Steven,
That's Steve M.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Can't even spell my name right.
Boom.
All right, click on it.
There it is. Now set reminder. Are you still doing Babylon 5?
It's on postponement. I told my group till Keith comes back. I am not continuing that show till Keith comes back.
I think he'll be back to normal once all this shit is.
That's why I will not start it until he's back. I started with him. I know, but that's why I'm not going to continue it.
My
Brett, I know you love me, bro, but
is Brett talking shit to you again? Hold on. BS equals bullshit, Steven. 2 words.
You know what FS stands for?
Fuck
Fucking
Steven?
shut up.
No, fucking shut up.
I've dealt with enough trolls over the last 4 weeks that, Brett, I love you so much more because I know you do it just for a laugh. All right.
So let me see. We should have had another chat bot, right?
I don't know. It will go every so often.
Maybe I should do it less.
I don't know. I left all my timers defaults. That's why mine works fine. But if you need anything else, let me know.
All right, buddy. Yeah, get back to your stream.
I gotta get back to my
appreciate
Destiny
the time.
2 stream. Yeah. Bye, chat. Fuck you, Brett. Love you too. Bye, Gary.
Bye,
If I
buddy.
can make it tomorrow, see you then.
All right, man. Bye. All right, guys. So Steven helped me a lot here because I was having some serious issues with Stream Elements, and it was showing during the last show, which was like just minutes ago. It said live, but yet we weren't getting any chat bot in there. And apparently, I had the wrong URL in the approved users or moderator. So Steven spotted that and we fixed it. So we got it working because if you scroll up, you can see where the chat bot started. Stream Elements bot running. But I still haven't seen any more posts by him. So I'm going to have to check because I think maybe I need to make them closer together. You're a boomer, Parrot Head. I swear to God. I created a private group for just people with Pop Culture Minefield for our special 3,000th sub/3rd year anniversary. And Parrot takes it over. It's now just Barrett channel posting his fucking funny memes. But we got it working. Glad to see you, Socks. Who else here? We got Real Wit. What's up? Yes, that was Steven. I don't know what he's streaming right now. He's in the middle of, I think he's streaming Fortnite over on Twitch, and he jumped over with me to help me fix this problem. So yeah, so this is just me fucking around trying to fix something. That's all. Biggie. So well, it's supposed to do it like every 20 posts. So I will write test 2. Doc. I mean, we've had 20 since the last one. So I don't know what's going on. And I'm thinking maybe I need to fix the times. Intervals. I think I need to change the intervals. Maybe that's just it right there. I'll drop it down to 3 minutes. Save. Close. Become a patron. I'll switch that to 6 minutes. Save. Close. And tip the bartender. We'll do that. Do 4 minutes. And see if that changes. I just don't want it to spam the chat. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Let's see. Fuck Susan? Who's Susan? Yes, Jacob and I know each other in real life. I bought a dresser from Jacob. I think it's a dresser. When I moved back from Arizona, I had no furniture. And, oh, baby, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to scare you. My doggy. Whoa. No. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Did you hear that? This is an awesome little girl right here. That's my little girl. If you didn't hear in the last show that we just did, that just aired, Hasbro loved it. They greenlit it immediately, and Tom got a hold of me to let me know. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It'll be done here within a week. Well, this week. What I mean, it'll be in an FTP server going to IDW probably by Saturday morning. Yes, Parrot Head. This is my baby girl. Her name is Taylor. I did not name her. If I named her, her name would be Shadow because she follows me everywhere. And she's really, in many ways, she helps me with my PTSD and anxiety. But she's not one of those trained dogs. I would love to send her to training for that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It's going to be very exciting finishing this artwork. And finally, after, almost a decade, because I talked to Andy Schmidt. Andy was the guy who hired me at IDW for G.I. Joe. And when he left to go to work for Hasbro, his marching orders that he gave to the incoming head of G.I. Joe Transformers was this guy's new artist. I got him approved for covers on G.I. Joe. And if you want to, Transformers, because I was approved for both. And guy never returned a call, never emailed me back. Just apparently I was told he didn't like the fact that I was a veteran and I'm conservative. It was that whole politics crap. They should leave the shag on your rug. I will tell you what, dude. I will get so irritated right before a show. I have to, Daddy, hold me. Daddy, hold me. And she's just, yeah, I know, baby. Daddy, hold me. Daddy. She loves the word daddy. And now she's kissing me. And she's like, hold me now. Hold me now. And I'll put her down afterward, and I'm just covered in fucking white fur. It's like, God damn it. And I grab my little tape roller to get the hair off me, and not all of it. Having a white dog is very frustrating. And I'm hoping that wasn't some sort of code for perverted dog sex, Brett. But yeah, my hair, you can't really see it on camera very well, but if you look at it, there's a lot of white on there. It's from her. She's if she's not on me, she will find something of mine that has my dad odor on it, and she will just snuggle up with it. What do you mean, Pat? Hey, Pat, you want to join me? You can join me, dude. Let me send you an invite. I'm not going to be on here much longer. I just needed to do this test to make sure this shit was working. I was getting very frustrated with Stream Elements. I'm still a little bit irritated with it because I don't know if it's working, and if I need to fix the timers on it. It feels like something's not working right. She just let out the little sigh and a grunt. That's all I wear, Brett. I almost always have black or burgundy. Like this shirt's burgundy.
You pull off a nice navy.
I don't look good in navy unless it's like this blue, because this is blue. It's not black.
Right.
And this one works on me because it's so close to black. I'm a guy that always, since I was young, looked good in black, neutral, or earth tones. Like forest green, really dark forest green looks good on me.
Did you own a set of blues when you were in the Army?
No.
Okay.
My class A's were very dark. I'm not even going to call it olive drab. It was very dark green, like forest green. But yeah, it's all I wear, Brett. Almost everything I own is.
What's the difference? Is the dark blue just for like super fancy stuff, like what you wear a tuxedo to?
Well, you have like here. Let me look up U.S. Army dress. Not class A's, but dress uniform.
Right, because in the Corps, whether you were an officer or a
you had the same uniform.
NCO, yeah, they were all the same. It was just insignia and placement. You know, your billets. That was it.
I never owned this uniform. Open in new tab. There it is. F11. I never owned this uniform.
Okay.
Mine was the class A's. Let me drop that down. Boom.
Now, not everybody wears their pants blazed like that, right?
Actually, this is the new class A's. Let me go back to the class A's we had.
Is this the ones that are pink?
No, I like the new ones that are green. Here, let me open this shit up.
They kind of harken back to World War II, don't you think?
Well,
That
they
kind of
cut them.
40s
Yeah,
era.
they're cut on the waist,
Yeah.
and it harkens back to the Ike era because
Yeah.
the Ike jacket.
Eisenhower had that waistcoat, right, that he used to.
Yeah, this is closer to that. In fact, this almost reminds me of the Marine Corps uniform,
Yeah.
the way it's cut. And it's nice looking, don't get me wrong. But let me get away from dress uniform and do Class A uniform. And this is all I wore right there. That's the ugly motherfucker right there that we wore. Wow, that's a shitty photograph. Thanks for telling me to look at that one. This is old style right here.
Yeah.
Wow, they really don't have very many photos of the classic Class A uniform. I mean, that's kind of it there. It's straight. I didn't think they looked very good. I like the look of the new uniform. That's the older Class A uniform, like what I wore.
Okay.
There's a good shot of one right there.
There we
That's
go.
a good shot too.
Well, those are old school, brother, though, because that goes at least back until Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yep. And there it is right there. That's the Class A that I wore.
Gotcha. Dude, worst uniforms overall, Air Force. Best
The ones they
geek
got
you
now
get.
look like something from the Empire.
If you got a kid who's smart, maybe not today, because I wouldn't let anybody's kid join the service. Tell your kids to run, go to college. But if things settle down in the next few years, the Air Force is a great place to land. But oh god, are their uniforms horrific?
It looks like something from World War One, but it also harkens back to the Empire from Empire Strikes Back.
Yes. Yeah, dude, and their everyday stuff. I mean, their BDUs are kooky looking, and they're that goofy short sleeve with the tie, and especially if you're an NCO, got those little bitty stripes on there, these 85 stripes and rockers that they
best stripes line I ever heard from any movie was Robin Williams. He says, "What does 3 up, 3 down mean to you?" And he says, "An end of an ending." He played Cronauer more as a free voice, than what Cronauer really was.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know he was a big time conservative?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a serious, like, he's like a I hate commies kind of.
Yeah, and so he took a little umbrage with the way that he was portrayed in the film.
Yeah.
This is,
well, like he said, he wasn't. He was very proud of his service. I think his rank and everything, and branch is on his tombstone, if I'm not mistaken. You can look that up and see. But no, he was very proud of his service, and he was not subversive. He said, but he was pro the guys on the ground. He was pro enlisted and the NCOs and the guys who did the real fighting and stuff. And he didn't like, officers who sat on their behind and didn't do anything to help the guys. And that's what he took umbrage to. And I don't think anybody can argue that point. He was right,
Yeah, I'm going to look it up real quick so I could see.
Yeah, he was the real deal, man. He really was. I think wasn't he in both branches? Wasn't he in the Army and then he left and then re-enlisted?
That happens so much with guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Tom Waltz from IDW, my senior editor and, close friend. He was in the Marine Corps and then got out of the Marine Corps and then went back in the Army. And
was he too old to re-enlist in the Corps?
No, he just, for some reason, wanted to try something else that was closer to home. Here we go. Adrian Cronauer.
Yeah, I told you my little cousin was 27 when he enlisted last year.
Paste, and then I'm going to look up what is it? His tombstone?
Yeah, his tombstone.
And it is. Well, he got a military one for sure.
If he wanted it, he sure did.
Well, I've told my family that when I die, do not order a marker, because if you order a marker, I won't get my veteran marker. And I want my veteran marker. I said, after I get my veteran marker, then order me a tombstone. But the odds are I'm going to be cremated anyway.
That's true.
I've told people
but
that
you're a
if my
Catholic.
first,
You're
if
still
my-
supposed to be interred, dude.
yeah, I know. I'll have a spot in a Catholic cemetery, but
Okay.
I've said that I want to be cremated, and I want some of it made into a soup and thrown into my first ex-wife's face if she survives me.
Yeah,
And the
you're
rest of it, I want to have turned into an enema and put up Kathy Ireland's ass.
Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to be buried in hollow ground in your entirety. But you can now be
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
cremated. You absolutely can be. So
Yeah, I
not
told
that
him.
I don't know how
told a
much of
priest
that.
once that hey man, look, are you telling me that God can't? Because like if I was like blown apart in a war, you think God couldn't figure out how to put me back together again or make a whole new vessel for my
Well,
soul to go
well,
into?
of course he could. Not only
Yeah.
that, I mean, look, think of how many people we bury at sea, buddy.
Yeah, like Osama bin Laden.
Maybe.
Maybe. We had 2 Chinese boats in territorial waters just before Russia went in. They laser pointed the plane and blamed Australia because you're a colony of prisoners and drunks. They don't know what they're doing down there in Australia. Australian for beer.
I have to tell you, man, of all the Western countries, it's kind of weird calling Australians a Western country, but you know what I mean.
They are. They've
They
been
are the
ally
one.
of ours
They are
during the
the,
war.
they are the ones that they're the ones that are the most vulnerable to an invasion, a land invasion, by far.
Yeah, they are. And
By
nobody
far.
wants to fucking go there because like the most deadliest things on the planet are in
Oh.
Australia. Deadliest spider, deadliest snake. They have more shark attacks there than they have on the African horn. It's crazy. Great whites too, man. Fucking Australia is scary. I got offered a job back in the 90s with Microsoft in Australia. And I did my first research on Australia and I said, a hard pass. No, I don't want to live there. That fucking that what's it called? The something spider, the one with the giant fangs, the most toxic spider in the world.
Is it the wolf spider?
The
Is
funnel
that
web,
the one?
funnel web. The funnel web.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, sounds like it.
And I'm like, and it's considered the common house spider, and I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to live where that's a common house spider. It's bad enough here in Missouri. We have recluses everywhere in the Ozarks. The Ozarks, they did.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
On Animal Planet, or no, it's Discovery. Discovery did a special where they followed this entomologist who specialized in spiders, and he went to a barn in the Ozarks, not far from Springfield, where I lived at the time. And in that one abandoned barn, in 20 minutes, they found over 200 recluse spiders.
Wow.
And most of them, when you find them, they're 90% of the time they're males because they're hunting. They're ground hunters. That's why you don't find webs with recluses. They have webbing, but they use it for capturing and or holding prey. And also their egg sacs. And they don't fucking build a spot. They usually hide like in your baseboards and shit. Around your door frames. That's where they live.
Oh, I know. We learned
And
that.
the males come out at night when you're sleeping and they start hunting. They're nocturnal hunters. And the way people get bit is they end up in your clothing, hiding. And like my boss's wife, who's still a friend of mine to this day, she got bit putting a dress on. It bit her right on the back. She got hospitalized. I've been bit twice by recluses, and I did get antibiotics, but I don't seem to react to it the same way.
Well,
And I'm one of those 1%ers because in human nature, no matter the virus or what it is that's a threat, 1% of humanity will survive because there's always going to be that 1% that is either immune or gets through it, where others died.
there have been some science fiction IPs based on that, right?
Yeah.
1% survived the zombie apocalypse, or yeah. I actually had a guy.
Hey,
He was,
Tim. Mr. Tickle Trunk. What's up?
oh hell, he was a real bully when we were kids. He and I got along. We never really crossed paths in a negative way. But right after Katrina, he got bit on the thumb by a
was this?
recluse. This is a guy I knew. I don't want to say his
Oh.
name. But he was kind of a bully, and he was a real jerk when he was younger. But he ended up becoming a really good guy. But after Katrina, he was helping rebuild a church, and he got bit by a recluse on the thumb, and he didn't know what it was, and he thought it was like a mosquito bite at first, and then it was, well, it's
Yeah, 'cause
Katrina.
you get a wheel. You get
Right,
a wheel.
Yeah, there's nothing really to worry about. I can't go to a hospital anyway. There's nothing open, blah, blah, blah. And they ended up having to amputate his hand. And even that wasn't enough. He had, what is it, toxic shock? Yeah. He actually suffered from toxic shock, went into a coma, and died.
Yeah, well, what ends up happening is this with the recluse bite, because I treated a sergeant for it in the Army. And he came in going, I don't know what's going on. And I took a look at his neck where he got bit, and a plug about the size of my pinky tip when I was cleaning it came out of his neck.
Oh.
And I'm like, you got bit by a recluse, brother. And just pumped him full of antibiotics. And because what the recluse does, and this is the freaky thing about them, that it's not a neurotoxin. It's not a toxin like anything we've seen before, other than in the recluse or hobo spider, which
Right.
is the European cousin of the recluse. And what it does is it fucks with the communication of your cells, and it causes cells, local cells where the venom is, to tell T cells that it is an antigen and needs to be destroyed. So your natural immune system attacks healthy tissue, and it starts progressing and moving outward and deeper. And what'll end up happening is then, oh, Andrew, my buddy Andrew is on. Hey, buddy. He was our guest a couple weeks ago on Saturday. He's one I'm working with on St. Thomas.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Hey, bud.
He's a screenwriter, comic writer.
Gary, that's scary on the neck, though, because if that becomes necrotic, it's not like there's a lot of tissue to cut away from.
That is the part that'll get you. That's what causes the toxic shock, or blood poisoning is really basically what that is.
Fair enough. I'm a layman, sir. You'll have to forgive me.
Yeah, it's okay. It's the same. Toxic shock works the same way, but toxic shock can kill you quickly. Plasmosis, and it's just really fucked up. Toxic plasmosis. But anyway, it takes healthy tissue and it'll make it necrotic, causing gangrene, and it'll fucking kill you if you leave it untreated. But there's always a percentage, like I am. I'm one of those people, and that can change in one single bite. That's how allergies begin. You're not allergic to something naturally. It's because you get exposed to it to a certain way, and your body goes, "Yeah, I've had enough of that shit. Fuck off with that." And
I had a good cousin. He had that happen with shellfish, dude. Because down here, that's all you eat is crabs and seafood and all. And one day she sat down and have a nice blue crab meal with her beau. Spent about $60 on it, and she ate it. She blew up. No, seriously, she blew up like a balloon. She looked like somebody tried to inject about 8 gallons of a saline solution in her, and she went from where you eat that once a week and all that, she can't even look at something like that, and it affects
Brett. The neurotoxicity stuff is, you've got a lot of that there in fucking Australia. With the brown snake, it has venom very similar to the cobra bite. You know, and that one has, because like some of them are neurotoxin, some are hemotoxins, some are corrosive. And with like the brown snake, as I recall, it's closer to the neurotoxin of a cobra. The worst snake, really, as I recall here in the United States that we have, is the oh shit, is it the sidewinder, or no, it's the one with the horned eyes, rattlesnake, because they mix it. It's a hemotoxin and a neurotoxin.
Yeah. You know what the
And-
worst thing you can get bit by in the States here is a baby rattlesnake.
Well, yeah, because they have no control over this goes for
Exactly.
any,
They basically like a rattlesnake
they
will
will
like
just
give,
over it,
right. They'll drop between like an eighth and a fourth of their venom, where a baby rattlesnake just like blows it their lid, right, for lack of a better term.
exactly.
And it's concentrated because it's a little bitty, but they have the same amount of venom in their sacks, right? It's just that they're babies, so they don't have the control of it.
Oh, look, Stream Elements is working. Look at that.
Yay! You did it.
Now, Andrew came in, and Andrew says, Gary said he loves us more. And this one made me laugh a minute ago. Sorry to be the one to tell you from the cluster of people Gary loves more than you. Andrew, I'm sorry, buddy. You're meeting all my friends. Let's see. Flaccid Phoenix. Oh, Flaccid's in here. Flaccid. If you're not doing anything, I'll send you an invite. I'm not going to stay on here long. I really just intended to do this thing.
Yeah, we're going to hold it to that Flaccid. He's going to say that, and he's never going to go to sleep. But I will say this real quick about Australia. One of the things I find fascinating. Are you into topography at all? Is that one of your nerd categories? Do you like maps?
I do and don't. What I like is I like geographical maps, but I don't really care too much about geographical formations. Even though I was fascinated by the military maps that we had that allowed us to, you could look at a map and know exactly where ridge lines were. It showed you elevation, and I fucking love that. Because whenever we did FTX, I loved looking at those maps because they're really well drawn. They're fascinating to look at. But anyway,
get some old ones. They're worth a lot of money. But look at, if you ever have time, really kind of look at and kind of study a population map of Australia. It is the weirdest thing. They really do only use about 2 to 5% of the land mass in Australia. And you look at the middle of the country, there's nobody there, dude. You know, it's like here we say, oh, the middle of the United States, there's nobody there. Well, that means there's like 1 million people there in that state, right? When I tell you there's nobody there, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some indigenous people, but even them, I mean, they're probably like, well, you know, I don't want to be in the middle, but you could be in the middle and be, you know, hundreds and hundreds of miles from the next living person.
Yeah. Although I kind of would love that. By the way, my dog's asleep.
Yeah.
She's passed out of my arms.
Actually,
Gary,
I don't think.
Come visit us. I'll show you a good time. I bet you would. Fuck, man. Probably take me out and what's that? What's that Australian horror film? Something Creek. Be killed by an Australian serial killer. Or Brett might be one. Who knows?
Yeah, was that the backpack guy? Where like his family
no,
was
always
over,
got the hat and a big.
and they would be like, he would be like, oh, you're going camping, you need some sleeping bags, and he always had these extra sleeping bags and backpacks. And kind of find out he was picking up hitchhikers and backpackers from the United States and America and just killing them and keeping their stuff.
There it is.
Nice.
Funnel web spider is
Thank
the
you,
most
Mr.
toxic spider
Jungle.
because some records say it also has the ability to throw racial slurs up to 10 feet.
Wow. That is a hurtful spider.
That is a hurtful spider. The thing that freaks me out about the spider, I mean, you look at a tarantula and look how big their fucking fangs are, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at the funnel web spider there in Australia, and it's like, God damn, motherfucker, I do not want to fucking be bit by that. They're way too fucking, that's not a little bite there. That's not tiny. You know, fucking recluse bites you often don't feel it. The little things
That
are
is
so
true.
tiny. And what ends up with the recluse? I was going to say, what happens is they have a defense mechanism that if you put pressure on their back, they rear up and attack. And that's how people get bit, stepping on them, rolling on them, putting an arm on them in bed. And I remember when Zoe was 4 and we lived in Lebanon, Missouri. And my God, I woke up to get her up for school, walked in there, got her butt out of bed, and she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth for daycare. And I go in the room to make her bed for her. And I picked up her pillow, and there were 2 dead recluses under the pillow. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I didn't sleep for a few days. I was so terrified. I stayed in her room in a rocking chair and just watched her bed to make sure recluses didn't get up there.
With a fly swatter.
I had a magazine. But I went to an old school dude. He was like an old farmer. He said, I'll tell you what to do there, boy. You just go down, get you some of them hedge apples down the street. They're big hedge apples. And hedge apples are big. They're about this big to this big. They're like a softball to a little larger. And they got fissures on it like the human brain all over it, little S fissures. And there's a sap in those. And it works as a glue trap. And the spiders will crawl it and they get stuck in the sap. And I caught a bunch of them doing that. And I kept them, near her bed, near her door, and near her window. And but man, there's a musky odor. It's very organic, but they're stinky hedge apples. And I saw an ad on Amazon for hobo spider traps that are baited, and it has almost a peanut butter smell to them. And I bought about 100 of those traps, put them over everywhere, every single leg of her bed, put them near every corner, near windows. We killed, and she and I would look at the traps because there's a little window you can look in. And what's amazing about it is they're so aggressive and territorial that if another spider gets stuck in that glue trap, it'll rush in to kill it.
There you go.
And so they were just like piling on each other in this glue trap. And it was insane. It was so terrifying to me how many recluse we killed. Hundreds of them in this apartment.
Well, Gary, the spider is the most ferocious hunter in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all, to be honest with you. I also know it's the most racist, according to Mr. Tickletrunk.
If I ever made a Superman movie, I'd want Superman to fight a giant spider.
Oh, God, shut up. I know what that is. I don't know if they know.
I was wondering if you're going to catch on. Yeah, that was back when we used to.
Who is that? Peter
back
Guber,
when we used to love him. That was Kevin Smith when he was.
No, the guy who was producing it that wanted that.
Peter, right? It was the same guy that did Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Yeah.
So.
He finally got his giant spider. Yeah. And for the $5 Tickletrunk, here you go.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And
one more time.
And boom goes the dynamite.
There's nothing more cool in this world than.
Have you ever watched that whole video?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that whole video? That poor kid.
Yeah, I edited that down just to that part because I wanted that.
But it's like a 4-minute long video, and he's doing like every sport and everything, and he's just like,
and boom,
and then he's like, and boom goes
that. There you go. One more for you.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
There you
go. So that's the guy that landed Phoebe Cates, huh?
Yes.
That got her out of acting.
Yeah, the Diamondback. That's the one, Andrew. Yes. Look at that. 2 stream elements. Look at that. Yes, I like that. Very good. I think I finally figured it out. We got it working. Gary, I'm not going to be on here long 3 hours later. I really do need to go. She's passed out, my dog. She's
do? Are you going to go work on art stuff?
Yeah, I got the green light this evening, so I've got to finish that before the weekend.
Yeah. Well, everybody, look, tomorrow and Sunday, check in on 24 Show. I always tweeted out that he's gonna hit 700 sometime in the next 24 to 48 hours, and when he does, it's all uphill from there.
I started the campaign to get him. I told him, I said, you watch over the next week. We will get you up to 1,000. It's going to be really quick. It's going to be up to you after that, but I will get you up to 1,000. And I'm doing the same thing for Brandon. I'm pushing him.
Oh, good. Well, 24's got the hours too.
That's it. John Peters. Thank you, deleted scenes. Yeah, his partner was Goober. Something Goober. Mr. Tickle Trunk. Just your name, Tickle Trunk, just sounds like somebody playing with their penis. It's funny to me. I'm tickling the trunk bait. Yeah, nobody, like I was joking earlier, I don't know if you caught it. I created that group chat for everybody to be on our special episode. And Parrothead's taking it over. He's just posting memes. And they're so fucking awesome. Some of them make me go, oh my God, how is he not getting kicked off of the internet? Yeah, Peter Goober. That's the other dude. Yeah.
Can you imagine going through life with that name?
Yeah, no. Thanks.
By the way,
Derek.
I'm glad 24 corrected you on Superman. That Donner movie is arguably, let's put it this way, arguably the best superhero movie ever made. Arguably.
Well, it's my number one superhero film of all time, favorite.
Okay.
And
it's definitely the best DC superhero
I think
movie
the only problem, and I've agreed with people when they criticize, is they got Lex Luthor wrong. I mean, that's not Lex Luthor from the comics.
100%. Yeah.
That is Superman from the comics. That is not Lex Luthor from the comics. But that's okay because Gene Hackman, they made the role for Gene. And Gene nailed it, man. That is a version of Lex Luthor, not from the comics, but it's a version of Lex Luthor I love. Mr. Luthor. Mr. Luthor. Mr. Luthor.
I'm shocked they got him for that, though, because he was on such a trajectory at that point. Like, that's when he was really becoming a serious actor. I mean, what was it, 3 years earlier?
Okay. What happened with him? Because I know the story behind this.
Okay.
He worked his ass off to impress the pros. He was trying to give his best performances in the best kinds of films, and they snubbed him.
Right. Well, very true.
And he just basically said, fuck this. I'm just going to go for the money.
Okay.
And have fun. And
I guess I can't blame him because, look, like I said, if you set the scene here, keep in mind, Superman's being filmed, it came out in 78. So it's being filmed in 76, 77. It's only 2 or 3 years earlier that this cat's playing Popeye Doyle and the French Connection, and gets snubbed for everything, I think, except for the Golden Globe. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just not right what was done to him.
Yeah, I don't think he even got nominated, did he, for an Oscar?
No.
The movie did, and the director did.
But not the lead actor.
No.
And a lot of people don't know that the 7-Ups is a semi-sequel as well, because Popeye Doyle is an amalgamation of 2 to 3 cops. He's not a real person, but he's based on real cops. The other character played by Roy Scheider is the author.
Okay.
And so he carried the character over into, and that's why he's really not in French Connection 2, because it's not connected to his world.
It's not connected, yeah. Okay.
But the movie 7-Ups is really kind of a sequel because he's the same character, same cop, the real cop.
Gotcha.
In the 7-Ups, which is, I love French Connection, but I think the 7-Ups is a better cop movie. It's just got a lot of great fucking action in it. But I will tell you, William Friedkin did something that really is shocking. He'd be in prison today for some of the shit that he did in his career, from The Exorcist to French Connection. Firing live guns on the set to startle his actors. Yeah, that just fucking wouldn't fly today.
No, especially
also,
after that dummy, what he did.
Also letting actors get hurt. He, the priest at the final scene of The Exorcist, when he's, doing the Nami Patre, over the Damien who's dying, and he's giving him his last rites. You notice he's shaking. And the reason he's shaking is because when they shot the scene, Friedkin didn't feel he was giving the best performance. So right before he went back behind the camera and to call action, he fucking slapped him in the face. Just really fucking hard.
Jesus.
Just
Well,
waylaid him.
That's a
He says-
battery. That's
he
at
says,
least
now do the scene.
a misdemeanor or a.
Yeah, this shit wouldn't happen. The Shining, what happened on the set there, nobody would get away with that shit today. Absolutely.
That was child endangerment, wasn't it? With the two.
Well, I'm
twins
talking
and
about
stuff?
her, Shelley Duvall.
Oh
It was
yeah. Oh yeah.
psychological
Where they
abuse,
where they
gaslighting.
basically yeah. Well, the poor thing was skinny enough as it is, but they said she
Well,
went
had
into
mental problems. I mean, she's
full of me. Well, dude, she stopped eating during that movie, right?
Yeah.
Like the people
it's
from Craft
funny.
Services would go try to put food in her trailer and stuff, and she'd walk out and throw it in the trash can. She wouldn't even eat it because she thought they were like trying to poison her and stuff. Which there again, that was probably half mental illness and them trying to gaslight her. So it was kind of 50-50. But no, she really did. She thought they were trying to like give her, not kill her, poison her, but like to make her sick and stuff. Because she thought everything they did was trying to they were trying to solicit a response out of her for acting. They wanted her to be, look like a battered person. She's had some tough roles, dude. She had some tough roles. She got hurt during the making of Carrie too. She like fell down some steps or something, and yeah. And by the way, The Exorcist. What was the woman in The Exorcist? That woman like has had back problems her entire life from that. Like where that dresser fell on her or something.
She was the lead actor in that. Hold on, I'll just look it up real quick. The Exorcist. Ellen Burstyn. She had the pull harness, and
that's what it was, and it pulled her into that furniture.
It pulled her into the furniture, and she actually injured her back. There was a lot of shit. Friedkin, there were no permits for the stunt scene when they were driving into the L there in Chicago. When you see them going up underneath the train, that whole chase scene, that was absolutely no permits, no warnings. Those were real people in a lot of the shots.
Jesus.
Doing high speed up to 100
That's
miles
some
an hour.
gonzo gorilla nonsense there, brother.
That was Friedkin, but there are other directors just as bad. Bernardo Bertolucci, who did Last Tango in Paris. He and Marlon Brando intentionally planned without any warning, using butter as a lubricant. Brando anally raped the actress on camera.
Jesus Christ, Gary.
It's
That went dark real quick.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the kind of shit they get away with back then wouldn't fly today. And a lot of it, I agree wholeheartedly with.
I was going to say, I don't think that should fly. I think any reasonable person would see that as somebody needs to go to jail. Maybe a few.
Yeah,
somebody.
nobody did. This is,
Right.
If you don't know the story behind Last Tango in Paris and the trauma that it caused its female lead, and
I'm not surprised. I think it's a terribly overrated and underwhelming film.
I didn't like the film. I thought it was bleak, and it just, you got to look, man. It's like Josh told me when I was learning writing from him. He's like, look, man, it's easy to write characters you don't care about. In fact, you can be the laziest writer in the world and write that. He says, look at the Coen brothers. They get away with it all the time. They write characters you just don't fucking care about. They're interesting characters, but you're not invested in them. You don't care what's happening to them. You're just watching. You're just there experiencing it. And Last Tango in Paris, that's all that was. It was about these detestable people. And then the backstory, the true story of what happened on the set. Then you feel bad for the actress. You don't care for her character, but you care about her because of what was done to her in the making of the film. And anything Friedkin worked on pre 1990, he would do shit that just wouldn't fly today. Fucking with people, and he was doing it to get the best performances. I understand you want that, but there's an ethical line, and Kubrick did the same thing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, some of these directors were real fucking assholes to their cast. Let's see who's all here.
Punk Waddle. Hey, what up, Punk? By
Gary,
the way,
I sent you a boot to the head. Okay, I gotta go check this out.
By the way, Gary, I know you're Missouri proud, so I think you might be interested in this. Did you know that even though it was not filmed there, nor was the movie set there, the actual true story of The Exorcist took place in
St.
suburban
Louis.
St. Louis. Yep,
Yeah.
in suburban St. Louis.
Yeah, but
And
they
those
did
were all
move. They
and
did
those were
move.
all my friends, and I think these guys educated you at one point, didn't they? That they were the Jesuits. The Jesuits are notorious
Jesuit
exorcists.
priests.
Yeah, they are trained at the Vatican to do exorcisms. Yep.
So what happened? And it was a boy. It
Yes, that is
started
correct.
in St. Louis and it inevitably ended up outside Anne Arundel County, Maryland.
Right.
So, but in the movie, they just stuck it there in Georgetown, which is actually
Right.
in Virginia. And Georgetown is the Catholic school. That's where I went to seminary. I was going to be a priest.
Were you going to be a Jesuit, dude, or were you going to be a
yeah, I was going
diocesan?
to be a Jesuit.
Ooh, that's like 8 years, dude. I know people who go to school less time and become doctors.
I didn't make a semester.
Okay.
I was very disturbed by some of the behavior from some of the other students, and then I went home and I went to a party with my friends Mike Beatty, Jim Woodward, the producer of this show, and it was a pool party, and there was a girl there from where who I worked with at McDonald's, and things happened, and I decided after that weekend I kind of want that to happen some more.
Right. Yeah, and those two livelihoods do not they're not
No.
they don't intertwine well. So
No, they
that's always
don't.
going to cause.
See, what does
cause a
Brett say
problem.
here? This is why films are moving to the Baltics. Stupidity is one thing and safety another. If you want 10 people to play out a stunt, it's going to cost. Yeah. Also, when you expect an actor to do their own stunts, that person really needs to know what the fuck they're doing. And I get it when an actor, because like Harrison Ford wasn't really doing his own stunts, but he believed that it's physical acting. Mark Hamill, on the other hand, was inducted into the Stuntman's Guild or whatever they call it, because he actually did stunts for his own stunts in Star Wars, all three of the Star Wars films he was in.
Corvette Summer.
I'm a big
was
fucking
his
Mark
problem.
Hamill fan.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said which is where he got injured, right? Wasn't that?
Well,
didn't they give,
no, it wasn't in the making. It
oh
was,
no. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't the director and producer were so happy with him doing it that they actually gave him a vet from the movie, and that was the vet that he crashed and right before Empire Strikes Back, right? And that's where he got his facial scars and stuff, correct?
Yeah, and then they tried to deny that they're trying to explain the difference in his face with Empire Strikes Back with the Wampa attack, and I'm like, we all know you're full of shit that's why you did it. And then later it finally came out that was what they were doing. I'm like, why did you even bother trying to cover that up? That was a dumb thing. And it was a near fatal crash.
Well, no, Gary, I think they did. Didn't they do that because they were afraid they couldn't get the movie insured? Is what it was. Because he was still recuperating when he first started filming that movie, and they were afraid they wouldn't be able to get insured. I mean, if you can't insure Luke Skywalker, there's no Empire Strikes Back. You know, it ain't like, oh, we got to get somebody else to play Chewbacca. You know, I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm just looking at a photo of him right now. Here, I'll show you. Share screen. Boom. Because this is the cheek that got messed up, and it changed the shape of his nose too. A lot of people don't notice it, but it changed the shape of his nostrils.
Yeah.
Because if you look at these pictures of Mark Hamill and what was done to his nose, and then you look at Mark Hamill 1977, you can see a distinct difference in his nose, like right here. See how his nostrils, the nares curve under? It's more of a smooth thing. He had actually a more prominent nose. And if you see him from the side view, his nose stuck out more. His nose was reduced in size because of the accident. And you go back to that picture, and you can see this whole side was changed from it.
Wow, yeah. Does he have a plate or anything? Or
I've often wondered that because his the orbit was crushed.
oh,
And from what
that's
I
awful.
understand, I think his eye came out.
Oh, come on, man.
But it was
Yikes.
undamaged. It was undamaged. But
Okay.
as I recall, his cheek and orbit were crushed, and they had to put his eye back in.
Yeah.
Ooh, porn bot.
Yeah.
Yay.
A bot. My little cousin told me that if you see somebody with a tent looking thing over their eye, that means their eye came out. And when they're being transported, like if you see like a little tent looking thing,
Yeah, we use
that
Dixie
means-
cups.
that means their eyes popped out and they're going back to get it put in. Well, that's
Yeah,
awful.
we use Dixie cups in the military. If somebody's eye, like I had a guy who got hit by a wood shrapnel. It's wood shrapnel. It's a splinter. It was a 4-inch piece of tree that was struck by a 30 caliber round, and when it exploded, a big long piece of wood shot through his bottom eyelid and went up into his eyeball.
Oh, god damn.
Yep, that was an interesting medevac right there.
Was he discharged?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
We just had to I had to immobilize his eye as best you can,
Gotcha.
and I put a Dixie cup over it. And Dixie cups are very common in your medic pack for eye injuries. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. I should say I've done things with guy that did Max's stunts, and not Gary's ball gag antics. Shut up, Brett. And then he says, but we burned his house down. Well, shit happens. But let me get back up here. Well, anyway, I'm getting dry.
Yeah, go ahead and go. Go draw something.
Yeah, this is just a fuck around, and I'm glad we got the damn thing
Oh,
working.
wait, before we go, this is what I want to tell you. And if chat wants to put in this, I think they should. You've been showing different videos of some of the progress of the cover and everything. I think you ought to do a little video. I don't think it should be an hour-long special or anything like that. I think you ought to do a little special about when the book drops, showing off the cover and you film some of it all. You should do a little video on it.
I didn't. Yeah, somebody had suggested, I don't think that was you, though. Somebody else suggested I should do time lapse. I think it was Kyle. Said something about doing a time lapse. I said, the problem is when I work digitally, so the initial rough pencils I do, I don't keep them. They get deleted. I as I'm doing my first run in inks, I delete the layer behind it. Because I don't need it anymore. I have no use for it. I now have my first build up, and then I drop it down in opacity and start to build up my next layer, which is usually my final inks. I bypass penciling at all, really, real pencils. I don't need to.
Do you do your own color?
Most of the time I do. I'm not going to do it on this one. I had the chance to, but the fact is I've got too much to do. I'm doing a book with Mike Barron right now and a book with Script Doctor, and I just don't have time.
How much would you charge to come to a party for 2 hours and draw caricatures?
Where?
I'm messing with you. You're supposed to say no.
Well,
is that a real artist job?
I've done that. One of my first jobs. I was telling the story the other day when we were talking about Dan Aykroyd. Because the first time I met Dan Aykroyd, I worked for his brother-in-law, Don Dixon, and Don he gave me my first real art job.
Dude, you need to tell Don this.
He
in
owned
the 80s,
Soft.
In the 80s, his sister was super hot. Go ahead.
Oh, she was. I met him. She's delicious.
In case y'all are wondering, that's the chick from Bosom Buddies for 2 seasons. That was Kip's girlfriend.
She was in Dr. Detroit with Dan Aykroyd. Don was her brother, and Don owned Rainsoft.
Still is.
Rainsoft Water Treatment Center there in Stafford, Virginia. And that's where my then girlfriend worked. And so through her, I met Don. A real big guy, kind of tubby, but real fucking nice country boy. Right. And he's like, you know what? You need to come on down to our bar. I own the Mason-Dixon line. And you ought to come down there and just do some caricatures. You can make some money. And so I did. I went there and I sat in the main foyer and when people walk by, they had the opportunity for me to draw them.
I
for
wouldn't know a
people.
place called the Mason-Dixon line would have a foyer. How fancy.
It's just an open, long hallway that leads into where you go into the
I'm
bar.
going to guess that bar's not in existence anymore, that you could have a bar named the Mason-Dixon line anymore.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll look it up. Mason.
So you met Aykroyd? Was it skinny Aykroyd or fat Aykroyd when you met him?
Bar, Virginia. There are a lot of big names that came to play there. But
Instead of paying,
Donna and
he
me
didn't
came
give
in
you
one
a.
night.
Okay.
So they came in one night, and they came over, and I did a caricature portrait of the two of them, and I got to ask him some questions. And like one of the questions I asked him was, "Is it true that when you wrote the screenplay for Ghostbusters, it was as thick as the New York phone book?" He says, "Not quite, but yeah, it was pretty close."
Really?
Because he didn't know how to write a script.
Is it
And
true?
it really was 3 movies.
Is it true instead of paying you, he gave you a bottle of his vanity vodka and the skull? Instead of flipping you a few bucks? Did he sign a napkin for you and go, "Here, this is worth more than money"?
No, he paid me.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if this was it. No, that's West Virginia. I want Virginia.
I shouldn't make fun of Aykroyd. He's really good to New Orleans. He does all kinds of stuff, all kinds of good works, and he does it anonymously. I only know about it because I know a couple of people that run nonprofits, and they were like, "Yeah, Dan Aykroyd's given us money before." I'm like, "Oh, wow, really cool. Do you have pictures of him and all?" And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like one of his people brings us a check kind of thing and all, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's still open. I think you're right. I don't see it. Yeah. The only one that's called that is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's a cafe.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. I mean, he was in his 40s when I met him in the 80s. So, Don.
Because Miss Donna's got to be well into her 60s now, I would think. Right?
He was he was a fat guy.
And a drinker. And a drinker and a smoker if he owned a bar in the 80s.
Yeah, he passed away.
He did.
Yep. He passed away. It was May 13th, 2015, he passed away. Really nice guy. He paid me really well. Because even if like I had a Marine stiff me for some of my artwork. Well, you didn't tell me I had to pay for it. I'm like, there's a sign right behind me. So he stiffed me, and Don always made sure I got some money from the tips if I got stiffed by anybody. He'd ask me, "You get stiffed by anybody tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he says, "Just go ahead, take the equivalent of the tips." I'm like, what a nice guy.
Yeah, well, it wasn't his tips. You're taking it for some bartender and a cocktail waitress trying to support her.
No,
kid.
none of us want that, Brett. The rule that we have, freelance artists, is the money I get up front is likely the only money I'll ever see. So I want to make sure that I'm going to get what I feel is enough to excuse me doing the best art I can for you. And for me, the lowest I've gone for doing art for a comic page was $75 a page. Oh, wait, no.
What?
I went down as low as $50 a page for pencils, 50 for inks. And the same, it wasn't 75, it was 50. And I won't do that anymore. No fucking way will I do that anymore.
All right, now don't say who or where or how or
Yeah,
when. But what was the
because it was a major publisher that did it.
What's the most you ever got for a cover?
Oh, actually, the publisher knows this. Because I told
Don't say it. Don't ruin it. Don't say it. We're just
I'm going to. It was Dale Dye and his wife Julia for Warrior Publishing. I did a sci-fi cover for them. Hold on. Let me go to my page. Because then you have it in context. And I will show you the cover I did for them. Covers, where's my cover art? Character design. Is that it right there? Is that no, cover art is what I want. There we go. Cover art.
Gary, are there any mediums you can't work in or won't work in? Like if somebody's like, I want you to do an oil painting for me of, you can't do that.
I don't work in materials anymore. I work pretty much all digital. Here it is.
Okay.
Here's the cover. Image in a new tab. Oh. You motherfucker. There we go. F11. There we go. Share screen. Boom. This is the most I've ever been paid on a book cover. And,
Okay, that's pretty cool looking.
it took me it took me about 1 hour to paint this. And it's a wraparound cover. It's front and back. But this is the front and spine. And I painted this entire painting in 1 hour. It's a speed painting. I'd never done one before, and I was curious if I could do it. And when I was done and she saw the cover, she loved it. And I didn't change a thing. So I got paid my regular rate of $1,000 for 1 hour's work. I was paid $1,000 an hour.
Wow.
And there you go. That's the most I've ever been paid for a book.
Pretty nice. So really the best thing you could do is get an 8-hour gig, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, and I've been doing this full time.
40 grand. That's 40 grand a week, dude. That'd be great money.
Well, when I was down
of course, it don't work that way, but I understand. But
I was an artist for a company down in Atlanta. I was the senior artist for TrekNet, and I did all their marketing and graphic design as well as fine art. And I was paid $75,000 a year working for them. So
wow,
fucking great pay.
Is it true? Is it true? Some of the cartoonists for things like Playboy and the Atlantic and all were making the equivalent of like $250,000 a year back in the 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, Phil Collins' brother worked for one of them, and he made a shitload of money. I'm talking about Phil Collins, the drummer for Genesis and all that shit.
Right. Willie Collins' uncle, yes.
And his brother was an artist for, I think it was either Playboy or Hustler.
Wow. And, not all those cartoons were even that risque. Some of them were just, really smart
matter. It was funny. Right. The subject matter was mature. And I wanted to do a comic book for Playboy when they were getting into publishing adult comics. And I created a character called Lesbos, the Queen of the Universe. And it
was a Showtime special in the 90s. Okay.
And it was just a lot of fun. And but it never happened. I never had the guts to finally pitch it to him. It took me a while to. I went to Kitchen Sink Press once, and they were kind of shitty to me, and I didn't like that. And but DC was really nice to me, and Marvel was going to hire me at one point, just about 10 years ago. And they were very interested in my work, and then it died, and I come to find out the reason was because I'm friends with Chuck Dixon, and my name was brought up to the guy in charge, and he hates Chuck Dixon, and found out that I'm good friends with Chuck, and they're like, yeah, we don't want him, and they initiated contact, and then they stopped talking to me just suddenly, abruptly, and I went to the person's cousin, who's a friend of mine, and asked what is up. So they asked and came back and said, you can't repeat this, and I can't say who it is, but this is what happened, and told me it was over Chuck Dixon. So I always find out backstories from people, like with the whole thing with that one editor that was supposed to work with me and was told to work with me and then didn't.
Yeah, Gary, if I would have been your manager in the 80s, I would have got you on at Harvey Comics. Yeah, for the next 20 years of your career drawing hot stuff, and Richie Rich, Beetle Bailey, doing Beetle Bailey covers.
I just did a Beetle Bailey joke on the
Did you?
show, and I gave credit to Beetle Bailey.
Okay.
'Cause I love Beetle Bailey, and
Beetle Bailey was Harvey Comics, right?
yeah,
I'm not thinking of something
I
else.
think it was.
Because it was
But
King. I know it was King Entertainment. So
King Features Entertainment,
right.
and the girl, the secretary, looks at this the black soldier, and she's like, "How many cows had to die for that coat?" He was wearing a black leather coat. He says, "Yo, baby, this is 100% pure Naga hide." And she said, "Well, how many Nagas had to die?"
No,
And I was a kid. I was reading it, just laughing. Naga hide, like it's
Naga.
not a chemical Naga hide, like with Y,
Right.
but hide
Yes.
like in cowhide. I just thought that
Yes.
was hilarious. That was
Tiny Naga.
genius fucking writing. Because he did, the guy that did that, he worked on so many High and Lois. He worked on what was that one? Oh my God, I'm Hagar the Horrible.
Yes. Okay.
A lot of these guys worked on multiple comics, sometimes as a writer, sometimes as the artist.
Sure.
And of
Yeah.
course, Graham worked on Rex Morgan, MD, and I used to read his comics when he was doing artwork for him.
No kidding. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
love
amazing.
the art. Rex Morgan, MD, had some of the best art for a comic strip.
Prince Valiant, buddy.
Prince Valiant, Hal Foster, and then Al Williams did the daily Star Wars comic strip for years.
Yeah, that was cool. There's a book with those in them. Those are really nice.
And Al Williams is, in my opinion, the single greatest influence on the way I draw. Al Williams. And
There we go.
and of course he was a contemporary, one of the close friends of Frank Frazetta, who also had an impact on me, and a guy who I got to know before he died, Bernie Wrightson, and the three of them were like best friends. And I love the stories about those guys. And if you ever watch the movie Painting with Fire, you get to hear these behind the scenes stories of their friendship, and I love that.
That's hip. Well, I'm going to leave you in the chat with this.
I'm done.
One day, I'm going to get you, Clobbering Times, and 24 together, and y'all are going to do a special. It might be a half hour. It might be 4 45-minute episodes. I don't know. It depends on how much I want to talk about it. But I just want you guys to get together and just talk about Gold Key Comics. Clobby loves them. 24 has some. I mean, it's some of the most amazing artwork that's out there. Certainly the most amazing cover. I mean, they look like, if any of you guys in chat are familiar with them, it looks like the old sci-fi covers from sci-fi magazines and the pulp magazines of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And I think Gold Key went through the 80s, right? Before they died off. Is that true?
Yeah, Gold Key was like one of my favorite comics growing up. It's why, if you look at a lot of the comics or graphic novels I've worked on, I didn't do the cover art. I would have a friend do it, because I loved where you would get a different artist for the cover than on the interior art.
That's true. And some of those
Gold Key started that.
And some of those Gold Key covers took up to 10 days to do, right? They were, some
they
of them were done in oils, and they were
paintings,
yeah, exactly.
And I love that. Like, if you hold on a second, let me go back to my page before you go yet.
Okay. I'm watching the time though. When we hit 1:30 in the corner, I'm leaving, whether you're done or not. If you're mid-sentence, because I don't want you dying on screen, man. Gotta go drink something.
Here we go. Let me share this real quick.
Hit me.
F11. This is my buddy Darren. Now, what's really funny here is you're going to see his name. Share screen. Boom, boom. That's my buddy Darren Douglas. Darren Douglas, because of my suggestion, we're still good friends this day. His name was Darren Douglas Hurlbut. And I said, lose the last name. I'm telling you, Hurlbutt, Hurlbut. I said, lose the last name, go with Darren Douglas. That is a great artist name. And that's what he did. He dropped it. Look at this cover he did to my comic book. Just beautiful fucking artwork. Let me zoom in. Oh, it won't let me. Open image in a new tab. We'll do it that way. Go this way, and now I can zoom in. Just look at that artwork. These are dead bodies.
Wow.
And it's a cool battle scene that I drew the artwork for in the book. But he did this. I designed the cover logo, but he did the painting. And look at that. That is just gorgeous artwork.
Yeah, that's something else.
And too bad, Karsten Shreve and I, we parted ways because he didn't believe that we went to the moon. And
He didn't believe we went where?
to the moon. He believed it was a conspiracy, and I'm like, okay, we can't be friends. I'm sorry.
That's crazy talk.
I can't be friends with somebody that fucking crazy. But he's a brilliant fucking. He's a DJ up in Canada, brilliant guy. But I couldn't deal with it.
How does he think we got all that stuff up there? Like the reflector that you could shoot a laser at right now. You could buy a laser, right, through a magazine that's strong enough to shoot at a reflector on the moon, and it'll reflect back to you. So
Read
how
that
does he
one.
explain?
Read that.
Okay.
Tickle Trunk. Read it out loud.
Darren Douglas, Tickle Trunk, they're both roll on and off the tongue so easily. Darren Douglas, Tickle Trunk. True. It's a good
All right,
point.
guys.
Yes. Go drink something.
I'm like cotton mouth.
What are you
right
going to have? Oh, may I recommend something? Because I know you're always watching your sugar intake. If you decide to treat yourself, I'm sure you're probably not a fan of artificial sweeteners, but anything that's
I love Splenda.
okay, anything that's blue, that is a Gatorade Zero, but especially what is it called? The Cool. Is it Cool Mist or Cool Water? Is excellent.
Yeah, my favorite thing. I'm going to show you right now. This stuff is the bomb. It's called Pure Kick.
What
It's
is it?
caffeinated drink mix.
Let me
And
look it up before I let you go, because I don't want people in the audience might be like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Blood Orange is this one. This is Blood Orange, and I'm telling you, it's just yummy.
But you know when
You're still just drinking
Valhalla-
water,
Okay.
which is healthy. Gary, what was this? Is lizard people? I have no views on lizard people. And I was testing. Steven came in and helped me to get the bot working, the chat bot, because it wasn't working on the previous show. And what happened was I had the wrong link in the moderator thing in back in the studio. So I fixed it thanks to him spotting it, and now it's working. But good seeing you, Matt. Good seeing you, Kylock. Good seeing all you guys, Mr. Tickle Trunk, everybody.
This is it. So I don't leave
Right.
everybody wondering. It's called when Valhalla sent me down some supplies after the hurricane, and Mike brought them down. He got me some of these Zero Cool Blue. Boy, is that tasty! That's what you need to try out if you get a chance.
Zero.
Gatorade Zero Cool Blue, COOL Blue. Do you have a
Oh,
Sam's?
wait, I've had this one. Hold on, Gatorade. I think I'm
Do you
looking
have
up
do you have a Sam's in the nearby
I've
area?
had this, the Zero. Yes, this stuff
Okay.
is good.
If you have a Sam's, if you get the Zero, not the protein, don't get the protein, but if you get the Zero multi-pack, which I think is the only Zeros you can get there, about a third of them are the Cool Blue. And if
They're
you're
really good.
and if your lovely bride or one of the kids drinks the other ones, I like just plain old green. I like lemon lime, and I like the orange too. If you played football in the 80s, guys, you know what green Gatorade is. That's all they had. It came in big powder, and your coach would mix it with his hand
Oh, I
and
remember that.
and hose water. Hose water is hand and a half of that.
Yeah, it's
Screw
not
top.
cool. It's warm hose tap water. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just-
Oh yeah, if you were lucky, somebody brought a bag of ice.
yeah. Bullshit. You're right. Gary's supposed friends racist Tickle Trunk.
Or if you're like me from South Louisiana, you drank out of an outside. You ever drink from an outside water fountain where all the pipes are exposed? It's like drinking straight out
I
of
think the weirdest
radiator
thing I ever drank was rainwater
Oh God!
because it tastes so weird. And we had
What
a
would you guys be like? Catch it in your poncho or something?
we would well actually the first time I tried it I was a kid, and this old man that lived next to my grandmother had a barrel that he collected rainwater in for drinking.
Jesus
And-
Christ! What did you do? Grow up in Appalachia, for God's sakes?
No, that was in Charleston,
Rain-
Illinois.
Rain barrels.
This is just like an impromptu thing. I didn't
Hose
even think
water.
I'd be on for more than a minute, but then people started showing up. I'm like, oh shit, people are here. I guess I'll
Uh,
talk.
yeah, we see, guys. When we were kids, you actually would go outside and play, and you always had that one friend you couldn't go in their house. So like my house would be like, you could go in it maybe, but if you couldn't, my mom would at least pass, drinks to the door, right? You might not get Sunny D. You might get some cold tabs or something like that, but you got something. But there was always that one weird kid who's like, no, all we could do at my house is drink out the hose. So if you were playing Army at his
Yeah,
house,
the
you're drinking,
poorest kids, that's how they would drink, is right out of
right?
a hose. And
Yeah,
I'm
because their
telling
dad
you,
would be.
you didn't grow up in the 70s or 80s unless you drank out of a fucking water hose.
That's exactly right. And if somebody's alcoholic dad was home, you definitely weren't going in the house and getting anything. There was no
No,
Kool-Aid.
because we were talking about a week ago. I'm not sure if we were live when I was talking about, but I was talking about how my sister and I, because there were 7 of us kids, and my sister Luann and I, we're the only 2 that had the ability, where we're so empathic that we
Right.
could read people like a barometer, and
Right.
we could tell when shit was about to go down, and we would just vacate. We would get out, and it got me out of so many fights.
That's the
Even
way
in
to
the
do
Army.
it. That's
I
the way
could
to do
see it about to happen. I could feel it, and it's like shit's going on, and I'm like turning around, looking at people. I'm like, we got to go. And some of my buddies in the military are like, dude, how did you know that? And I'm like, man, I just read people, and it kept Luann and I from getting beat because we knew when it was time to amscray and get the fuck out of the house.
Time to go outside and play. That's exactly right.
Go down to your,
Yeah.
go down to the basement and hide.
Yeah, I had that. My friend Mitch and his brother Ricky, you'd go by their house and they'd be sleeping outside in the bushes, and you'd be like, "What? Dad went on a tear." Single dad in the '80s, right? He would bring this woman in once a week, and she would come in and cook all their food for a week. They must have got food poisoning all the time. But you go in his house and it'd be those white catering boxes. She used to make like a week's worth of bologna sandwiches for him and put them in that box in the refrigerator.
Well,
So
we were tougher.
we called them the bologna boys because those guys they must have ate 24 bologna sandwiches a week between the 2 of them.
Between my dad and I, we talked about it that, growing up, we would eat food in our lunch bags that we kept in our lunch bags: bologna, tuna, chicken salad, and it was not refrigerated.
And nobody
In
died.
school.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
none of us ever got sick from this, and that's why I think it's really hard to kill people that grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
I think you're right, dude. I think you're right. But I tell you what, I bet you had friends like this too. Did you have friends that went and got like little part-time jobs and all when they were 13 or 14 so that they could eat more meals than what their parents would feed them?
Mhm.
Like their folks would be like, yeah, breakfast and dinner. If you want lunch, you're kind of on your own. There were kids like that in the 80s, and people got away with it, Yeah, some people just couldn't afford it. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with Catholics, and it wasn't unheard of to know a family of 8 or 9 kids. There just wasn't a lot of food.
I
So
knew
you
the
go-
Gavis family, and the Gavis family are actually famous. Richard was my friend, and Richard Gavis, and he and his sister were the only surviving members of the family outside the older brother who killed everybody else, because he and his sister were sleeping at other people's houses the night that the oldest brother took the gun and killed everybody. And Richard,
Where was this at, in Amityville or something?
Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And Richard, I remember he wouldn't dress up for Jim. He'd have cut off blue jeans, and he would sit there with a pocket knife and shave when they were doing roll call, he'd just shave the hair on his thigh and not respond if they called his name. And the teachers were terrified of him, and he was really he was playing it up, dude. Yeah, my brother's a psycho, killed everybody in my family. There's no doubt he was traumatized by it, but he was really milking it. And like one kid said something dumb to him, and he turned around and stabbed him in the butt with his pocket knife. And I turned to him one day and I said, Richard, look, man, I don't know what's going on with you, but you pull that shit with me and I will beat the fuck out of you. Don't you ever fucking stick me with anything. He is
Gary just went preemptive.
Yeah, it's like I saw it, what he was doing, but he was a really funny dude. And I was telling the story the other day about how the kid I went to school with, Rolf, His dad was one of the co-developers of the tiles on the shuttle,
Wow.
and he was just a real geeky, dorky kid, you know. And
Gary went to school with either kids who were extremely rich or destitutely poor.
his name was Rolf, and I'm
Was
like,
he named
"Dude,
after that
do you
dog in the
not have-"
Muppets?
No, but it was a German family, and I'm like, I told him, I said, "Dude, do you have a middle name?" And I can't remember, but it was fucked up too. And I'm like, "What? Your parents hate you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
God damn, dude,
I hate
you
to
are
tell you
gonna
this, but you're the same name as the kid who turned into a Yahtzee in the Sound of Music, dude.
So he tells Bennett, Jim Woodward, David Gray, and I that his sister's got a dildo. And we're like, "You're a liar." Bennett's the one who really dug into him. He says, "You're lying." He says, "No, she really does." He goes, "Prove it, bring it to school." And he goes, "I can't, she'd kill me." He goes, "She's not going to kill you. You're just afraid to do it because it's not true. You're lying." So after this confrontation in the hall, a few days later, we're walking down the hallway together, and there he is down by the main atrium at his locker, and he's like yelling at us, and he's got a paper bag and he's wagging it in the air, and we're like, "What?" And as we're coming closer to him, he opens the bag to show us what's in it, and we see what's in it is this big fucking dong. And Bennett, I fucking love Bennett Sumner, man. I fucking love that guy. We don't even get to talk to him anymore. His wife talks to us, but it's awesome. It's our one contact with him to this day, because he's just so focused on work and his family that he's the only one on social media, or she is. He's not, and she's a great gal. I love his wife. But anyway, he darts and snatches it right out of Rolf's hand and takes off hauling ass with it up in the air, half the dong hanging out of the fucking bag, down the hallway. Woo! Seriously, it's really happening.
I don't believe you actually graduated from high school. There's no way that you guys
technically. I didn't technically. But anyway, so I don't know what he did with it, because I didn't have any classes with Bennett the rest of the day. I only had driver's ed with him, and boom, we're at driver's ed, and we're all piling into the driver's ed class, and Rolf is sitting in there. Richard Gavis is way over all by himself on one side of the auditorium. Almost all the students are in the center aisle of seats, and then a few on the left side. And Richard Gavis, the one I was telling you about, all the way over on the right side, being the loner. You know, I'm cool, I'm quiet, I keep to myself, I'm dangerous. And he also dated one of my best friends, Darlene, in high school. And I had to threaten him twice over her. I'm like, "Dude, you leave her at because she drank a lot." And he left her drunk at a fucking football game behind the bleachers, passed out. And Virginia Johnson, who is still one of my closest friends, her and her husband, she told me, I went over, picked her up, and I carried her home, and she got her in the window. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So anyway, we're sitting there in driver's ed, and all of us noticed that the podium there underneath the stage, right in front of the stage, had a towel over top of the microphone. And we're like, "That's really weird. I wonder why they're doing that." And so Mr. Calloway comes walking in. He was a little tiny guy. I'm not going to say anything disparaging of that man, because he's a really nice person. But there were rumors that he was a little bit of a Peter Pan, and I do know that he made me uncomfortable, because when he made us take showers in gym, he wanted to hand the towels to us after we were done. I thought that was creepy. And but past that, we didn't have any really problems with him. He's just a really nice guy, good teacher. And he was teaching driver's ed, and he comes walking down with his little clipboard and everything in his side, and he's always wearing those way too short shorts and a tight polo shirt. He comes, a white one, and he comes just walking down there, goes up, and he looks at the podium like, "What is that?" And he sat his stuff on top of the stage and turned around at the podium like, "Why is there a towel over it?" And he yanks the towel off, and there's that fucking dildo sticking straight up in the fucking air where the microphone usually was. And his head went back when he saw it. What the? And everybody, we all fucking went hysterical laughter.
Well, his first thought was who was digging in my desk. Then he realized, wait a minute,
Yeah.
mine's
So-
not navy blue. Hold on here.
So he takes the towel and he wraps it up and he storms out of the auditorium, asking, first of all, he's like, who put this up there? And nobody responds, and it got really quiet. And he goes, who put this up here? I know one of you did this. And Richard Gavis sticks his hand up and he goes, did you do this, Richard? He goes, nah, I have no idea how that got up there. I just want to know, what are you going to do with it now? And Calloway just got really mad and storms up the fucking walkway back to the door he came in. And before he exited the door, Richard says, we're going to check your trash.
I take it y'all didn't drive that day.
No, it was driver's ed. It was the written.
That's what I'm
portion.
saying. Did you drive that day, or was he so upset?
No. Oh, did he drive? I have
Yes.
no idea. I have no idea.
Was he verklempt? I just showed a video that day. You guys aren't
And-
going outside.
I just know that I did ask Richard if he checked his trash. He goes, I didn't check his trash. Didn't care. I just wanted him to think we
All
were.
right, go. We're gonna get in trouble here, dude. We're almost at 2 hours. Go
No
drink
way.
and eat something and go work. Oh yeah, it's 10 o'clock here.
I'm just looking. Okay, yeah. Hey guys, thanks for just popping in. This is
Yeah.
just
I hope
this
we
is
pass
really
the
kind of
test.
what Steven and I wanted to do, which is do a show every week. We just sit down and we just talk shit for like an hour or two. And because I like doing this, just bantering, telling stories.
Yeah.
And I've got like billions of fucking fucked up stories to tell.
True
There's
that.
always something. Oh, look there again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Stream Elements.
Stream Elements is doing a good job now. Yeah, if
Yeah.
y'all are bored and you wanted someplace to go hang out, go check out our buddies Mark D with a C and Clobbering Times over at his channel.
Yep, they're doing it right
Clobber-
now.
Clobberin's
When I say
almost
they're
always
doing it, I
got-
mean they're doing a show, not having sex.
right. I would hope not.
I'm
Not Mark
assuming
and not Mark and Clobby, by the way. You know, I mean, one's in Connecticut, one's in Louisiana. That'd be really hard. So
It'd be long. I don't know. It'd be hard, but be long.
that's true. Oh, tell everybody about Friday and Saturday, then we'll sign off.
Matt hit me up because we're doing because Brandon does a show and we do that show at noon our time. It's morning elsewhere, but it's after it's noon for us. I'd like to swing in and watch your show. Make sure to share that link with me, buddy. Comics is live as well.
Yeah, I
Yep.
guarantee you Matt's done before we go on the air.
Yeah. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I really appreciate it. It
No
was kind of
problem.
fun.
Tell
and
everybody what Friday and Saturday is, dude.
Yeah, Friday tonight. Well, it's still today. So
Yeah.
tomorrow, Friday at 2:00 Central Standard Time, we have Frank Frazetta's granddaughter, the only Frazetta to follow in Granddaddy's footsteps and be an artist. I worked with her on a comic. She's a sweetheart, smart as a whip. She runs co-runs the museum, the Frank Frazetta Museum. She's gorgeous and just an absolute 100% delight. Come join the chat and enjoy the show tomorrow. And then Saturday, Keith and I are going to go after entertainment, basically saying, look, man, we have been fed such a constant diet of shit for the last 3 decades with entertainment that we are now connoisseurs of shit. We think we're talking about something good, but we have been fed this diet for so long, we cannot recognize shit. We just recognize whether it's good shit or bad shit.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about that on Saturday. Past that, I want to thank you guys. What if she's smart? What the fuck is she doing talking to Gary? Well, I'm an artist, motherfucker. But I love you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Pat,
Yes.
thanks for jumping on with me. It was kind of fun.
No
This
problem.
impromptu.
Thank you guys. Thanks for sharing chat with me. You guys in chat are great. We'll see y'all Friday.
Amen to that. And
Yes.
with
In
that,
less than 20 hours.
yeah, we are the
Bye.
hell out of here. Good night,
Later,
guys.
y'all.